Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful May 8th, 2021. Coming up in the Crusty Canuck podcast. More of Telford's lies, more of PM Trudeau's lies, and more C10 crap. All that and more coming up in the show. Stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
Mama always said I had a face for radio.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 123. Listener discretion is advised. I like to use big, bad swear words. And if you like and hear what you see, by all means, click like, subscribe, and share this all over your social media platforms. Help us independent folk out there by changing the algorithm, letting people know that there's other points of view out there to enjoy. Yes, like I said, Telford Knew in recent events there yesterday. Miss Katie Telford, press secretary to the Prime Minister, or whatever job that she was given based on her gender, has testified in committee in regards to the sexual misconduct allegations against General Vance and others in the Canadian Forces. So I'll summarize basically what I have read in certain articles, Toronto Sun, National Post, and what I saw on CTV News. More or less filibustering, right? Stalling tactics, other bullshit. Basically sitting there saying one thing, meaning another, acting all emotional. Oh, I didn't know, kind of like the Sergeant Schultz character from Hogan Heroes, I know nothing at all. I saw nothing, yes. So, my point of view is this. A lot of people knew what was going on, nothing was done about it. Okay, Prime Minister's office knew for the better part of 3 years what was going on, and did nothing, right? And personally, I think it's insulting, honestly. Honestly, I think it's insulting because here we have a bunch of people that are sitting in the top office of this country. Okay. Election promises of transparency and funny ways and all this magical pixie farts and fairy dust. Oh, I'm so excited. And yet they can't seem to tell the truth on an issue where some senior officer made some bad mistakes. Okay. Now, I watched an interview with a good friend of mine there. He conducted an interview with a veteran in regards to an allegation and how he stood to the plate and owned it and took responsibility, what have you. And when it was all said and done, it was about a year-long investigation. Now, there was no physical harm or anything that come to this individual. He made a mistake, he owned it, and that was it. Life goes on, right? I don't know the background of said story, what have you, but apparently this guy stood up to the plate, said, yep, I said this, I was wrong, I was sorry, blah, 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 blah. And through all the smoke, and once that's cleared, then it was about a year long, they realized, okay, no harm was done, but due diligence was done on this individual's benefit because he said the wrong thing at the wrong time or whatever. But to summarize it, there was an investigation, he paid his dues, what have you, and then, life moved on. See, that's the thing about being an adult. You do something stupid, you do something bad, you own it, right? We're taught that as children. You're taught not to lie to your parents. You're taught not to lie to your teachers. You're taught not to lie or cheat or steal. And yet, when so-called leaders, and I use that term loosely, okay, they get on the stand and they just talk bullshit. Really. From what I saw yesterday of Ms. Telford's confessions or interrogation or her hearing in committee, I just felt like I was getting lied to. Honestly. I felt like there was no genuine responses. There was no real heartfelt considerations for the victims of said crimes. Mr. Vance had an affair with the major, ended up having 2 kids with this major, even though they were both married to other people, apparently, right? Or I'm not sure if that major was married at the time or not, but needless to say, he was. So there's conduct unbecoming right there, My time in the service, yeah, I've heard about affairs and I witnessed some affairs going on, but when you're a young private or a young corporal, you just shut your mouth. You don't really say anything unless someone's getting hurt. And then even that has its repercussions too. But you just learn to mind your fucking business, as long as no one's getting hurt or killed or beaten up. That's the thing. But I look back at those situations now and it's like, really, I'm not saying that everybody I knew in the service was a philanderer or people slept around, but there was affairs and shit that were going on, right? That I can recollect. There were situations where, I didn't need to see or hear about, but needless to say, that's life. You find that in any job, you find that in any profession. It's not necessarily just geared towards the military. There are people out there that can be real fucking dogs, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female. There are people that sleep around and don't give a shit about the repercussions. They don't. And, I made that mistake myself a few times, and I confessed that to you, my audience, earlier before. But you got to sit back and really think about what you're doing sometimes. And it doesn't matter what position you're in. It doesn't matter if you're a politician. It doesn't matter if you're an officer, a junior officer, senior officer, a young private or a senior NCO. It doesn't fucking matter, okay? You're given responsibility to look after the welfare of anywhere from a section of troops to a platoon to a company to a battalion to a brigade group to a battle group, what have you, okay? And you got to make sure those individuals are good to go when it comes to operational readiness, when it comes to any kind of deployment, whether it be a bug out for an exercise or any kind of exercise for that, or whether it's domestic operation, i.e. a flood, forest fire, or overseas, whether it be a peace support, security support, or fucking, heaven forbid again, another fucking combat mission. And you've got to be really switched on when it comes to looking after the logistics and the welfare and the health and the readiness of your men and women. The example I have seen, the examples that we have all seen in the past couple of years from the civilian side of leadership to the military side of leadership have been pretty fucking shitty. All right? Pretty bad, pretty bland, pretty lackadaisical, pretty slack and idle, and a lot of blame games still, Oh, I wasn't aware. Oh, I didn't know. Like, fuck. Obvious then, if they didn't know what the hell was going on, then I guess they really don't know much and really give a fuck about the jobs they have.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please consider donating and check out my Supercast link in my description too. Just follow the little green check mark there when you look at the description. You join Supercast for $5 a month. You get all of the Crusty Canuck episodes loaded up via Podbean to Supercast uncensored. So you get all of my audio censorship free. It's a Canadian-based company with some American outlets, but it's born and bred in Victoria, BC, Canada. So please check out Supercast. Check out the Crusty Canuck podcast Supercast and join today for $5 a month. And if you get a second or two, please check out my store at customizedgirl.com/s/Crusty Canuck. Get yourself some Crusty Canuck swagger. I got t-shirts, I got mugs, I got stickers, I got swimsuits for the ladies. I got patriotic gitch, I got hats, all that good stuff. And I'm still working on other articles of interest at the moment too. And please pay attention to my community page on YouTube and my Facebook page for updates. And this Sunday, join us for another Sunday Fastball with myself, Adam Daniel Mezei, Chris Veterans of Veritas, Fred Stockman, and others too. We'll sit and have a panel discussion on the weekly politic, social, and other spectrums that affect our daily lives as we speak. Anyway, carrying on. More of Telford Knew. And I think she did, her and I think Mr. Butts got into trouble when they were elected in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, for having an outrageous moving expense, moving from Tirana to Ottawa to the tune of about $255,000 apiece. Interesting. Now, I know from Toronto to Ottawa, it's about a 40-minute flight, and it's probably about a 3.5, 4-hour drive. And yet, here's $255,000. Fuck, I can't speak English today. I've had a rough week, ladies and gentlemen. Pardon my slurring, but I had some issues with some things this week. Anyhow, a lot of money was given to them to move, right? And there was a big stinker in that a while ago. It never been looked at. But if someone's working with and working for the Prime Minister, they're obviously privy to see a lot of paperwork that comes across desks, A lot of memos and a lot of this and files that. And what gets me is that this whole leadership conglomerate, and I won't call it a party anymore. You know how I feel about the Liberal Party of Canada. There's nothing liberal about them. Just a lot of shady fucking deals, okay? Now, with all this crap and then the C10 crap too, they're trying to defend it, saying they're protecting Canadian content when we already have laws in place that protects Canadian content. There's a lot of bullshit coming down the pipes. Now, like I said last episode, luckily, Mr. Jagmeet Singh is dead against it now, because he realizes that it's going to affect people in his constituents and his ridings too when it comes to what you see and what you do online. The last thing we need is any kind of CRTC or any kind of government oversight in what we put online, okay? And you can't sit there and say, it's stop hate speech and it's stop we're hurt with words. Oh, my goodness. For fuck's sakes, we're adults. I think we can handle a few bad words here and there, like the word fuck. It's funny. I was talking to my parents the other day, and they heard one of my episodes, and they actually asked me to stop using the F word, politely, of course. They didn't demand it, but I'm sorry. I cannot stop saying the word fuck, 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 right? But needless to say, regardless of what you say on your platform, it's your bloody right to fucking say it. But it's also your responsibility to be honest and open about it, just like we expect our politicians to be. Now, Stephen Gilbert is a criminal. He broke the law. He climbed the CN Tower, put his life in danger, and his so-called other protesters with him. They put their lives in danger to make a point. Now, I'm all for free speech and assembly and promoting what you have to say and do, by all means. But he still committed a criminal act. Okay. And then here he is. He was an elected official representing Canadian heritage. Now, I really don't think this guy gives two shits about Canadian heritage. Honestly, because if they gave a crap about Canadian heritage, they do a hell of a better job putting shit on television that is Canadian-based, other than just a few family shows and talk about puppets and feelings and horses. Yay. You know what I'm talking about, Heartlanders, right? And actually put some more emphasis on some good Canadian drama and some great Canadian comedy. Gone are the days where we're going to find another Second City. Gone are the days we're going to find another Kids in the Hall or another Codco. Gone are the days we're going to find another Wayne Schuster. Okay? A lot of our great Canadian talent has been exported to the States. Some of them are still in Saturday Night Live. Some of them are still making movies. Some of them made some great movies. But where is the Canadian content when you turn on the television and you watch CBC or CTV? You see a few shows, I know for a fact that all the Hallmark movies are either made in Edmonton, Calgary, or fucking Vancouver, right? And a lot of these good teeny bopper shows are made in Toronto. I know the new Star Trek franchise is being filmed in Pinewood in Toronto. Okay, so you have your Canadian content there. That's great. You got a few actors, a few writers, a few set designers, production, all that good stuff. And my buddy Adam Danny Mezei could probably verify that too, because he's in the scene, right? But then again, when it comes to watching a good program, what do we get? Sure, Murdoch Mysteries has its point, but needless to say, where's the modern dramas? There's not enough Canadian sci-fi as far as I'm concerned. So if C10 is supposed to promote this shit, what plans are in the works again? Right? But you and I both know C10 is nothing but a fallacy. It's an excuse, right? All the Telfords out there, all the Guilbeaus, all the Trudeaus, all the McKennas, all the Freelands, right? All the Chatties Jaggers, all the Harjeet Singhs. I have never, ever seen so many unqualified people call the shots for this country in my life.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Like I say again, folks, please check me out on Supercast too. I'll leave the link in the description. Click on that. For $5 a month, you get all the Crusty Canuck episodes, anywhere from 8 to 9 to sometimes 10 episodes a month for the mere price of $5. And big shout out and thank you out there to my subscribers and everybody who come out on Thursdays live stream. Much appreciated. Didn't have a guest due to scheduling differences, but needless to say, hopefully next week I will have a guest too. I'm in talks right now with a couple of people. I won't give it away just yet, but I need confirmation, and they're going to let me know hopefully by Tuesday. So stay posted to my community page and Facebook page. for updates on that endeavor too. And the next few weeks, there might be a cutback on the Thursday fastballs. Like I said, I have a part-time job now, so I'm getting some more income coming in. But I still want to make this podcast a full-time commitment, so please consider donating today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to sit and stomp my feet and demand cash for mediocre efforts. I put a lot of work into this podcast, production, sound effects, sound bites, all that good stuff. I edit it, and I clean up my show from his sounds and certain things there with my software. And like I said, in the near future, I'll be making videos too. So every time I put the podcast up, you'll see my mug talking to the microphone, making the faces, gestures, and everything, along with the sound bites and effects too. So that'll be coming in the near future. But like I say, please consider donating today. If half my subscribers on YouTube would give me, let's say, $1 or $2 a month, I'd be well on my way to making some great fucking content for you all. So please consider that today, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, carrying on with more Telford Knew, and that's going to be the heading. Telford Knew. She did. I think a lot of those people in the office knew what was going on. They're all privy to seeing this information. You know, I think the whole Liberal cabinet knew what Justin was doing when it came to what he did to Miss Jody Risen-Raybould, what he did to Miss Philpott, you know, how he chastised certain individuals for not walking the party line. And again, we were seeing that dynamic again. We have to walk the party line. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to diss anything, my conservative friends out there, but this past week, I've had 3 phone calls from the Conservative Party in regards to donation in case Mr. Trudeau does a snap election. Okay. Now, you've heard my stance on elections. You've heard my stance on politics and who I'm going to stand by and what I'm going to do in the political ring. Now, I don't want to shoot the messengers. Okay. I know a lot of those guys are just doing their job, trying to campaign for the party and everything. And that's fine. That's fine. And I will say, I will give some brownie points, though, to the Conservatives for actually asking how myself and my family are doing in regards to these issues and lockdowns, what have you. And I will give him that. And I would like to see and hear from my audience out there, has any Liberal candidate done the same thing? Has any NDP candidate done the same thing? Or Green candidate, for that matter? Sorry. And to my French listeners, has anybody in Les Blocs, from Les Blocs Québécois, have they called your homes and asked if you're okay in this? I'd like to know. So please let me know, folks, via the comments or via email. All my information is in the description. If any of your offices, if any of your MPs or MLAs have actually called you to see if you're okay in this lockdown crisis, right? Now, like I say, I'll give hats off to the Conservative Party for calling my house and actually inquiring about our welfare. That was fantastic. But I let them know, too, that there's got to be responsibility from all parties. And I let them know that we got to stop walking the party line and start walking the constituents line. Okay? I let them fucking know, too, that it's a matter of there's a lot of veterans in this country that are really pissed off, and not so much because of benefits and of the red tape and of all the other bureaucratic crap that we've had to deal with, but just the lack of respect for this nation. Okay? The lack of respect that we have been given from our leadership, you know? Now, when someone says to me, thank you for your service, I hate to say it, folks, but 8 times out of 10, that sounds disingenuous to me. Not that I'm being ungrateful. When I hear it from just a private citizen and I can actually see the appreciation in their face, then that's worthy. I appreciate hearing that. But when I hear it from a politician, it just sounds fucking rehearsed. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, here's a veteran. I better just thank him for his service. How about you appreciate what men and women do for this country? How about you appreciate the amount of times that men and women have gone to bat with lackluster equipment, lackluster leadership, okay, and overcome the odds, okay? And then start fucking realizing that you have to invest higher than what's being invested right now, okay? Think about that, okay? The first few years of the Afghanistan commitment, there was such a logistics nightmare when it came to giving our men and women the proper desert uniforms, right? There was such a logistics nightmare. There was holding back here, holding back there. Oh, we don't want to look too aggressive. Yeah. Stupid shit like that. Something to look into, folks. You know? It was Chrétien's Liberals that did that. And I will blame the Liberals for that, too. I will blame the Liberals, right? Because they were in power at the time and they were in charge, right? They're the ones that run the procurement boards and okay the sale and the purchase of this and that. So I'm going to blame them, all right? I know there's a lot of dirt that the Conservatives have done, too, but these memories come to mind quickly and firstly. So keep that in perspective. So when a politician says to me, oh, thank you for your service, I'm a little curious if they fucking mean it or not. Now, the other day I was getting my truck serviced, had to get an oil changed and all that done. There was a nice lady that was in the dealership with me, and we had a nice little talk about taxes and seniors benefits and what have you. And when she found out I was a vet, she says, oh, I'm so thankful that you guys have done this, and I really, really appreciate what you've done, and thank you very much. And see, that's genuine, okay? But when you hear the underlining tone, oh, thank you for your service, it's like, well, I'm not fucking giving you a cheeseburger here, Buckeye. I'm not showing you the wine list. I'm not pulling out your chair and showing you our fucking hors d'oeuvre menu, okay? A lot of us cranky vets and the people before us and the people after us are willing to do what has to be done, okay? Now, I'm not in service anymore. I'm not. But I still want to serve my country. I still want to run in federal politics. But I also want to run with my constituents, and I want to give them a hand, like we should in our parliamentary system. Nothing wrong with waving the flag. Nothing wrong with standing by your province. Nothing wrong with standing by the maple leaf. And the history, whether it be good or bad. Okay? Like the old Midnight Oil song. My country, right or wrong.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And regardless of all the strife that's been happening this past year and a half, we all know the lockdowns are a fucking con. Okay, the mask mandate's still a fucking con. And when I go to my job, yes, I have to wear my mask and everything too. But I look at my boss and she understands. She's tired of the same fucking crap as well. But enough is enough. Okay? It seems like every time you look to leadership, they can't make up their minds on whether someone was being harassed or not. I've never seen the paperwork. I never read the words. I didn't realize it was a Me Too situation. Oh my goodness. Fucking disingenuous bullshit. Now, I'm happy there's a few conservatives standing the ground and riding these shitheads and making them talk, making them sweat. But they're just pulling shit out of their asses, ladies and gentlemen. They're just throwing whatever to the media. And then there's more deflection. We have to worry about what's going on in India. We have to worry about what's happening here. And why can't we worry about what's happening here in Canada? Why are these other issues so important? Why do we have the funds and the ability to give away more medical equipment to another country when we have a problem bringing the vaccines here into Canada? So what's the underlying issue there too? Well, we knew Telford knew what was going on. Justin knows what's going on. Harjit Sanjay knows what's going on. You know, our beloved procurement minister, Anita Arnott, knows what's going on. But they'll just say whatever to say fucking face. They're not going to say and tell us the fucking truth because we all know they fucked up, right? But they don't want to look bad. Oh, please don't chastise us. We don't want to look bad. Oh, we're only human. We make mistakes. Yeah. But see, your mistakes were intentional, okay? There's been a long history of procurement issues with this country when it comes to getting things done. There always has been, as far as I can remember. A lot of excuses, you know? Like the old saying, excuses like assholes. Everyone has one, right? But when I sit and I watch the garbage and I try to find something positive. But what's positive about it? So here's my suggestion. Call the election. Okay? And to my listeners out there, stop being afraid. Okay? You're not going to get sick if you walk outside with your mask off. You want to wear a mask? Wear a mask. You want to keep hand sanitizer handy? Fucking whatever you want to do. Okay? But enough of this fear. And the next time any Carl or Karen sits there and fucking points at you and screams to the high heavens, just tell them to fuck off. Enough is enough. Okay? Even here in Alberta with more lockdowns, more police officers going to businesses and literally chaining their doors. For what? When there's other crimes that could be fucking thwarted and investigated. No, we got to send 5 or 10 police officers to one little restaurant to make sure no one goes inside. We've got to send another 5 or 10 police officers to a church to make sure no one goes inside and gathers. Okay? We've got to send another 5 or 10 security officials or bylaw officers or other members of the authority to lock this up and to block this and to block that. All for what? Right? So someone doesn't get a glorified fucking cold? Okay? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually talked to a couple of people this past week who have had the beer bug. They've had it. Okay? One man was 72 years old. Another lady was 52 years old. They stayed home. They isolated and everything. They got lots of sleep, drank lots of fluids. And the moment they started taking more vitamin D and zinc, the better they started feeling. So what's that tell you? Is that fake news, Miss Patty fucking Haydu?
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.
Yes, smack it indeed, and smack it hard. I'd like to smack the asses of all these fucking clowns with a nice 2x4 with the odd little bump in it, just to let them know that I mean fucking business. Anyhow, folks, we're at this part of the show where I always like to pick a candidate for
The Canadian Polar Vortex of Bullshit.
And of course, with due consideration and then going through all my notes and research and what I have discovered, excuse me, in the past couple of days, the Canadian Polar Vortex of Bullshit Award will go to, well, you know, it's a pretty tough fucking decision. Just let me ponder it some more here. The Canadian Polar Vortex of Bullshit Award goes to every doctor that has lied and to every doctor that has encouraged fear and scarcity throughout the Canadian population. So well done, sirs and madams, to all the Dana Henshaws, to the Manitoba doctor, to the Ontario doctors. Now, pardon me for not remembering your names, but then again, it doesn't really fucking matter because you fuckers are still getting paid encouraging lockdowns while other people are losing their jobs and livelihoods and businesses and their sanity as we speak. So well done. Well done, doctors. Well done.
The Canadian Polar Vortex of Bullshit.
Now, I'm not disenfranchising the medical professions or the medical professionals that I have worked with as a security guard that I've personally gotten to know while I was serving in the military. But that polar vortex goes to the bullshitters out there who have done nothing but encourage the fear rather than finding viable, honest-to-God solutions to fight this issue. So give yourselves a good pat in the back to the ones that fucking care. And to the ones who don't fucking care, blow it out your ass. Anyhow, carrying on. Telford knew. Yes, I think Telford knew, Trudeau knew, and they all fucking knew, ladies and gentlemen. But I think the thing is they all trying to fucking save face. That's what it is. They're all trying to save bloody face in this catastrophe. Okay? And the offer's still open, too. If anybody in the armed forces is listening to this podcast and you want somebody to talk to, if you feel that you have been harassed, and I'm talking a legitimate harassment issue, not because someone called you a dirty name or looked at you funny one day. I'm talking if you go to work and someone's literally preying on you or giving you a hard time, let me know. CrustyBCanuck67@gmail.com. Send me an email. Get in touch with me. It'll be anonymous. I will not divulge any personal information. I'm not a qualified therapist. I'm just a guy who's reaching out. Okay? If you want to talk to somebody, let me know. And I'll leave a 1-800 number for you guys to call too. If you feel that you're in a crisis and you don't want to talk to me or somebody else, just somebody to call. Give yourself a hand if you need it. Or if you know a vet that needs it, please use it. It'll be in my description there, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, they keep telling us we're in this together. So, okay, let's promote this togetherness. Like I say, if there's any members of the military out there that really need to talk to somebody about some issues that are really driving them up the fucking wall in the name of harassment, and they are, and they have been harassed, let me know, and I'll see what I can do for you. Okay? I can't promise you fucking justification. I can't promise you justice, but you've got an ear, and I'm willing to listen. So put that in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. And when we're carrying on with this whole Telford Knew, see, that's the thing. That's what happens when you appoint people. When you appoint people, not elect people. And when you elect people based on gender or based on identity, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the leadership you vote for. Okay? It's like the old slogans they had in the 2015 election. Not as advertised. And rightfully so. They were not as advertised. You get these clowns that promising sunny ways. Well, sunny ways for whom? Right? We have a prime minister that loves China's dictatorship, who cried so desperately when Fidel Castro died. Oh, another dictator is gone. What am I going to do? Oh, promote freedom? Oh, what a novel idea. Oh, shit. Wasn't that the liberal mantra back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s? Freedom to be a little more transparent, right? Right? Don't worry, the Conservatives have made their fuck-ups too. So has the NDP. In fact, every federal party has had their share of fuck-ups galore. But the past 6 years, wow, it's been a real fucking dog's breakfast so far.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. I can only go on about Telford so many times, but like I said, I'll leave links in my description and what have you on the whole Telford case. It's it's just a shit show. It seems like every time we turn on the news, it's nothing new, nothing optimistic. Hey, we all know that. The news can be very depressing and bring you down. But needless to say, we still have to get out and fight the good fight. Lockdowns or not, lockdowns be fucking damned. Okay? Ask the tough questions again. Harass. And I'm not saying illegally harass your MPs or MLAs, but call them. Write them letters. Send them emails. Get petitions going. Get in their faces if need be. And to the MLAs and MPs out there that might be listening to this, my offer's still open to those federal Liberal MPs. You want to engage me in debate? Let me fucking know. Time and place, we'll have at her. I'll roll up my fucking sleeves, put up my StreamYard, and we can fucking go if you like. Because we know how hard it is for all you, politicians and your Zoom meetings because it's so difficult. It's so tiresome. According to that Mr. Easter clown that tried to justify the pay raise, right? But needless to say, folks, it's on the fucking table. I'll say again, if there's any Liberal MPs out there that would like to engage me in a nice fucking debate, please let me know. I'm ready to rock. How about you? Okay. This has been episode 123 of the Crusty Neck Podcast. Wow, 123 episodes. Fantastic. Well, I want to thank my audience again, all my subscribers and people that have sent me those wonderful emails the past couple of weeks. Thank you once again, and especially everybody who came out on my Thursday fastball there too. Please stay tuned this Sunday. Tomorrow, I'll be with Adam Danny Mezei again in our distinguished panel going over national issues as always. 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And especially my new subscribers out there, please tune into that. And don't be afraid to say hello, ask a question or two. So for the better part of an hour and a half or 2 hours, we'll have our panel. So please pay attention to that, folks. Now, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 8th of May. Weather's starting to change for the better. Ground's thawing out. Going to start planting my garden sometime soon. So I got beans and potatoes in the works. Maybe some extra tomatoes this year. We'll have to see. So I encourage everybody out there to do some gardening too. Get your hand in the dirt. Get your hands in the dirt. And understand what the soil can do for you. Because if you're good to the soil, it's good to you, right? Don't be afraid to talk to your plants once in a while. I hear they really enjoy that. So, so you're growing beans, corn, potatoes, whatever. Just get out and start being a little more self-sufficient and stop relying on the government teat, right? Like I always say, folks, do what you can to look after each other, help each other out the best you can. These are trying times. I understand. You know, there are people that are hurting out there, so do what you can, help each other out. Whether it be an extra bag of groceries, a few extra dollars, or just some of your time, or just be able to listen to somebody. Let them vent, you know. Troubling times, but it takes strong people to overcome them. And I know we're strong. Our history's proven it, and we can keep proving it. Like I say, look after your friends and loved ones. Do what you can to help each other out. And remember, folks, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow at the Fastball. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Aye, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.